Hey guys, what's up? It is the Teeya Skipper here, and happy Sunday. I haven't done a message on Sunday in a while, and so I was like, let me do a message. Let me share where I am, and hopefully this hits you wherever you are, child. I've been really thinking about decentering things, right? So what that means is, what has been so centered in your life that stops you from focusing on you, that gets in the way rather of you doing what you know you need to do, which stops you from being in the center? What is that thing for you? So I'll go first so you don't feel bad. For me, the thing that I had to decenter was relationships. Okay? Like, since I could remember, since I was a kid, all I wanted was love. Like, I didn't want the fame. I didn't want all the things that I came into. Grateful for them. Grateful that people know me, know my music, and for the accomplishments I never thought I would accomplish. But I was still so willing and ready to trade that for love and relationships. And I didn't realize how much I had put relationships on a pedestal until I really, really started entering another level of self-love, right? And really, when I say self-love, I mean self-attention, paying attention to myself. And I realized how long I had put these relationships and being with a man on a pedestal. And while I was sitting and going over my history and going over mistakes and going over failed relationships, I was realizing that a lot of the ways that I felt cheapened, or I felt like I wasn't respected, or like I wasn't valued, was because I was making cheap decisions in who I was choosing to be with. Like, there was a, they talk about the pick me. I felt like I was a pick me, even though if you were to look at it, it looked like, well, I had the options, but I just wanted someone to love me. You know what I mean? I did not qualify these people or candidates by what they could do for me. I was only just wanting the love, and I was doing the stuff. I was saying, what can I do for you? How can I add value to your life? Like, I was in the proving business. And I hadn't required that the person prove to me, right? Even though, if you date men, men come with a lot of promises. But none of those promises were fulfilled. And at the end of the day, I was left with a lot of words and not the promise, not what was promised, not what was agreed upon. And as I was just looking over my decisions, I realized that I had put a lot of things on hold for men. I had put men before a lot of things. I had put the acquisition of love before everything. And when I felt like I found it, I let go of everything else and I focused on that. And letting go, including like letting go of myself. I didn't realize how much this desperate feeling to be loved, how much it was taking over things, and how the people I was doing the most for, it wasn't even worth it. Are all people valuable as human beings? Absolutely. Do all people live in this life as valuable people? No, they don't. And so the people that I was talking to and I was going through the most for, and all the stuff I was allowing and putting up with and giving second chances to, when I really looked at their personhood, their character, what value do they bring to our relationship, I realized it wasn't there. It wasn't there at all. And I was holding these things, the thought of love and relationships, on pedestals, and those relationships were cheap. They weren't worth anything. They did not upgrade my life. I upgraded a lot of people. I gave to a lot of people. I helped a lot of people. In a lot of those relationships, I was the one giving the upgrade, but it was not serving me as well. And so as I've been on this, like, really looking at myself, and when I say all of these things that I'm saying, I'm taking full accountability. Like, I realized, I'm telling you that I was looking over and I was realizing what I was doing. I was making cheap decisions when it came to people. I wasn't allowing myself or allowing time enough to get to know them. Now, I don't take responsibility for people lying, manipulating, and showing up as something other than they really are. That's on them. But I take responsibility for once I did know, once I did see a red flag, that I didn't know how to choose what was best for myself. Love was the highest thing that I wanted, and I was sacrificing everything else. And I'm calling it love, but it never was love, right? And so that had been the center of my life, and also my beauty had been centered around it too. Like, I'm a very creative person, so there's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways I wear my hair, tattoos, piercings, all of that. And I would know that there was a certain way I could wear my hair where I would get a lot of male attention. And then there was other ways I could wear my hair where I knew men probably would just stare, you know? And a lot of times, especially growing up, I felt like I had to choose between being myself or being pretty. If that makes sense to you, it makes sense to me that I would hear things, or whenever I was my most creative self, it was cool and creative, but from guys, it would be called weird. You know what I'm saying? And that was a hurtful word to me, because to me, that represented other. You're not seeing me as a human being. You're seeing me as something separate from you, right? And so I made a lot of decisions to shape my life around being chosen by man, being desirable by man, being wanted by man, being chosen by man, being like, love me, choose me, pick me, right? And then when I just realized it wasn't worth it, what did all of these relationships bring to me? Nothing. It showed me that I can heal from a lot of stuff. It showed me that I could pick myself up off the floor many, many times. And so I'm saying all that to say, once I realized it wasn't worth it, that there are actually things that I really do need from a partner. And if I don't find that, nothing other than that is worth even entertaining. It took me a long time to get there. I was a person who believed in people, believed people could change. If you asked for another chance, I would give you one, because I was giving what I wanted. I was giving people chances because I would want a chance and I would want understanding. But I wasn't thinking about, I wouldn't need this many chances because I wouldn't do that to a person. That's what I wasn't thinking about. But I did not know how much I mattered. I did not know that my needs mattered as much as they do. I did not know that I needed more than I thought I needed out of a relationship. I thought it was enough to just prove myself to the other person, when in truth, I was in situations and relationships where I should have allowed them to prove themselves to me, because that would have shown me this isn't worth my time. So now, relationships and men have been decentered. It's not a cause. Anything that I do in my life has nothing to do with this, right? And it's not to say that men aren't valuable or anything. It's not to say that. It's just to say that I'm choosing to live my life, and the decisions that I make, they're not about a relationship. They're not about a man. So if I wear something, if I do my hair a certain way, even being passionate as a woman, like, I'm a very passionate person, you know what I'm saying? And I've heard men say, oh, you sound so angry. And so now I'm trying to temper myself because I don't want you to think I'm angry. It's like, no, I'm not angry. I'm passionate about everything that I do. The same passion you see in my music, you love those songs. They came from passion, you know? And so I'm just not going to temper myself so that you'll approve of me. That approval switch has happened to where it matters what I really think about myself. Like, am I okay with what decision I made? And I'm not just saying that like in a cliche way. I am literally the authority now in terms of, am I proud of myself? do I want to do this? Is this the way I want to show up in the world? And this is me decentering men. I no longer care what you think. I no longer need your opinion. I no longer even need or want a pointless relationship when I'm looking at it as a relationship and you're not. I know all men are not like this. I'm not speaking for all men. I'm speaking about my situations personally. But I had to remove that from the center of my life so that I could be and live my life. And I told a person, I said, I'm in this place where if someone comes along, they're going to have to join me as I'm walking and living my life, but I will not stop for another person. I won't stop and give my full attention and stop what I'm doing to talk to another person. And for some people, y'all already knew not to do that. You know what I'm saying? For others of us who had to learn self-love and learn self-value and learn these things, I'm just now getting that that's not the most important thing. And so anyone who wants to join me, anyone who wants to talk to me, that's fine, we can talk, but I'm not adjusting myself anymore. And so that feels so good to know that I'm not going to keep shifting and monitoring myself to make sure I'm behaving or showing up in a way that would make someone else feel better. This is my life. And I felt like shit trying to make people feel better for years. For the latter part, my past life, I'll call it my past life if it's past yesterday. Like, my past life, I was making sure and trying to make sure that people felt better, that they felt like they had a safe space with me. But the truth was, they had a safe space with me, but I was not in a safe space with them, okay? So I'm sharing what I have decentered, and when I tell you it's been very freeing, very, very freeing, very sobering. See a lot of things clearly now that I didn't before. I'm asking you, what do you need to decenter? What have you constantly shaped yourself around? Have you centered other people's opinion? Because this, for me decentering men, that also goes with opinion, right? And so have you shaped your life around what people say or how they perceive you? What do you need to decenter so that you can live your life as you? What have you put on a pedestal to where you're submitting your life to that and you can't be your authentic self? Because that thing needs to be pulled down and set aside. Doesn't mean you don't want it. Doesn't mean it's not important. Doesn't mean I don't want a relationship. In time, I will love a beautiful relationship. But it's not a priority like I am. There are things that I'm excited to work on within myself, to build within myself. And I've never been in this space. Like, I'm telling y'all, love was always the focus. And now the focus of love is really between me and me. And it's such a freeing place to be in because I can control this. I can't control another person, you know? So whatever it is that you need to remove out of the center so that you can focus on taking care of yourself. If you want to travel, like, what are your dreams? What are your fantasies? What are things that you really want to do? What's the thing stopping you? Because the thing stopping you, it's probably something that's in the center of your life that you've put on a pedestal a little bit. And again, a lot of times it's other people's opinion. It's what other people are going to think about what you're doing. But I guarantee you, if you pick that thing up and put it to the side, you're not throwing it away because it has some relevance. But if you pick it up and put it to the side, you're going to see spiritually this open, expansive world before you. It's going to feel like a brand new journey that you've never been on. And it's a journey between you and you, or you and your inner child, or you and your deepest desires. It's the journey where you stop waiting on something else to come along and you start the journey because only you need to take it. I was also putting off a lot of things on my journey, including my journey, because I was waiting on a person. I was waiting on them. I wanted them to join me. I kept shaping my journey to fit this thing I kept centering in my life and wonder why it wasn't working. that wasn't a them problem. That was a me focused problem. I wasn't focused on myself, and I didn't feel comfortable being in the center of my life because it didn't feel safe, which we'll talk about in another episode. But whatever you need to decenter, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And just know that you absolutely can do it. I don't care if it's something you've been desperate for so long, and it feels like it could even be an addiction. It can even be something you like, I don't know how I could ever quit this. This is such a part of my life. I'm telling you, there's so many people's stories who thought that life would always be the way they lived it, and one day everything changed. Okay? So I love you guys. Happy Sunday, and I will see y'all next time you see me. Okay? Peace. Oh, and my lip gloss. Sorry, I had to show y'all this. My lip gloss. It's my line DKLD. You can get that on my website, skippersweetcheeks.bigcartel.com. The link will be down below. And this is in the color Frost. Okay, bye.